Hello and happy Wednesday. Welcome to our channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about why JR and I have decided to start this video and a little bit about our relationship. Mostly we decided to start this channel because one, we're home. We've been home because of the pandemic. We're both retired with disabilities, and it gives us a little something to do to be constructive and to try and help other people who are similar to us. We both have bipolar disorder along with different types of anxieties. My anxieties are different than his are, but we both have anxieties. We both have different issues that keep us from being able to be more active in society. We help each other out a lot when it comes to our mental disabilities. We're able to kind of keep each other balanced. I know that he can socialize more than I can. He can go to stores and things like that. He can go shopping as long as he tries not to interact with too many people too much. Mine, it varies so much. Sometimes I'm fine. I can go to the store. I can go to different places and I'm fine. But then other times, as soon as I walk into a store, I will have a massive panic attack. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I can't breathe. I can't move. And I can't function. And sometimes it happens a lot. Other times it doesn't happen for weeks. But I never know what's going to trigger it. One day I can be in Walmart and the store is packed and I'm fine. The next day I go into Burlington and there's very few people in, and I absolutely freak out and can't function and have to get out of the store as quickly as possible. So I never know what's going to actually set it off. And it's really frustrating to me. I've tried all different types of medications. Right now, I'm not on any medications because of the weight loss surgery that I had a little over a month ago. And I just can't take any kind of psych meds until my weight stabilizes and I can readjust how my psychological medications work. But right now, I just have to deal with it the best that I can. I have appointments with my therapist every other week just so that she can keep base with me to make sure everything's going okay. And JR watches me very closely, as well as our son Marcus. He keeps a very close eye on me as well, just to make sure that I'm not freaking out, because I have had a nervous breakdown before. I was working probably about an 80-hour-a-week job doing bookkeeping and payroll and income taxes, and I had a nervous breakdown and I couldn't function and I tried to kill myself. I took a bottle full of high blood pressure medication hoping that it would stop my heart, and I regret it now. I don't even understand what my brain was thinking of at that time. I really just don't even know what was going on in my head at the time. I was having a lot of problems at the time, and it's hard for me to even, and I mean, I had 2 different attempts at suicide, and right now I can't even, that's the furthest thing from my mind. But I never know if it's going to happen, if for some reason my brain just switches off and I go back that way, and I don't know what's going to cause it. And that's the scariest thing about having a mental illness, is sometimes things can be triggered without you knowing what caused it or why you feel that way. A lot of times I like to say that I don't know how my brain works sometimes. My brain will just put things into my head that don't make sense, but at the time it seems like it makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it. It's hard to explain. But JR and I help each other with those aspects of our mental illness, and we also know, after we found each other, we have friends who also have mental problems, mental issues. And one of the reasons we wanted to start this channel is to have conversations with other people and let other people know they're not alone, that everybody goes through things. And if you have a mental illness, you're not alone in this world. And I know a lot of times when I have these issues that I feel like I'm alone. And that's one way that having JR helps me out, because he helps me realize I'm not alone and he's here for me. And we wanted to have this channel so that we can tell other people you're not alone. And even though you feel like you're alone right now, you can reach out to us, or we can give you numbers for suicide prevention or therapists and things like that. And there are ways for you to reach out, and there are places that will help you. Doctor's offices, there are places all over the world, this country. We're in the United States. In most countries, they have suicide prevention hotlines, and they have mental illness hotlines and places that you can get help. And I know that it's not easy. There's also stigmas, especially in the United States, about people with mental illness. And it's hard to get help, and it's hard to find a place to get help. It took me a long time to be able to find doctors and therapists that I trusted enough to let help me. My son is kind of going through that right now. He has ADHD, which brings with it its own set of mental problems. He deals with depression a lot, and he's going through very similar things that I am, and he's trying to find the right specialist to help him deal with the issues that he has. So I definitely understand his journey, and I'm trying to be as helpful as I can with him. But I also know that there's people all over this country, all over the world, who are suffering with mental illness and who are suffering with the different problems that our world face. And JR and I really wanted to be able to have conversations with people and talk to people and tell them you're not alone. This past year has been so difficult on so many different people, whether you're used to working a 40 or 80 hour week and now you can't work, or you're used to, having time with you and your spouse, or spending, sending your kids to school and you doing things. It's just, this pandemic has disrupted everyone's lives, and everyone has been impacted by this pandemic, and it can take a toll on anyone mentally. And even if you don't have a chronic mental illness, this past year there are people who are dealing with just acute, which is something that is temporary, something that is not something that you have to deal with every day for the rest of your life, but something that you're dealing with right now because of the situation of the world. And there aren't enough professionals right now. I know that there are people in schools who are specializing in mental therapies and things like that, but right now there really is a shortage of mental health professionals in the country. And I know that our current administration, that is one of their goals, even though it's on the back burner right now because of everything else that's going on with COVID. But I know that hopefully it will get better, and I know the country's getting better. The way that people are dealing with COVID right now it's getting better. The vaccines are out there, and hopefully by the end of this year we can go back to some kind of semblance of normality. But it's still, people with chronic illness, people with chronic mental illness still need those help. They still, the worst thing you can do is tell someone with mental illness to get over it, or they need help. And when your brain doesn't when your brain betrays you, and that's how a lot of people with mental illness feel, their brain just doesn't work like everybody else's. Their brain is betraying them. And I know that's how I felt for many years, and I didn't want to get help, and I was just going to deal with it. And I had to come to the realization that I had to get help, and I had to try and find some way to cope with it. Otherwise, I was not going to survive. My brain, it was like my brain was playing tricks on me, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. I didn't know what was happening in my brain. My own brain, I really felt like it was betraying me. I didn't know what was going on. And I want to help other people. I know that I can't physically go and help people. I know that, but I can help people with my videos and tell people what I've gone through. And that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this, that JR wanted to do this. We wanted to have conversations with other people, and that is something that's very important to us. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments below. We'd love for you to like and share, and subscribe, ring the bell button so you can be notified whenever we post a video. Right now on this channel, we are uploading 3 times a week. On Mondays, he and I do a video together discussing different topics, different current event topics that's going on. On Wednesdays is me talking about a variety of subjects, and on Fridays is him talking about a variety of subjects as well. Typically we try to talk about different things because he is very into weightlifting and nutrition, and I am as well, but I typically cover that kind of stuff on my personal channel, which is K Ford personal channel. I have linked in the description, and it will be in the end cards as well, but you can find me there. And I do, on Sundays, I do a weight loss surgery update. And then on Thursdays, I do usually it's going to be either a food recipe or a workout video, something like that. Most of that stuff will be about my lifestyle change, the changes that I've gone through with my weight loss surgery. So I really hope that you stick around and press the buttons, give us a like and share, and comment anything you want in the questions. If you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to. I have no problems answering any questions. My email and social medias are also linked below, so please reach out. And I hope that you have a good week and weekend, and I will see you back next week. Bye-bye.